is the Sensitive CEO Show, igniting sensitive entrepreneurs to grow your heart-centered business. I'm your host, Rose Cox, and this podcast shares with you inspiring and thought-provoking conversations for sensitive entrepreneurs wanting to grow a sustainable online business in a way that feels exciting and aligned with your soul. Along with my carefully curated expert guests, we share science-backed advice, proven strategies, and the systems we use to succeed in our businesses and our lives as highly sensitives, introverts, and empaths. And by the way, if you would like to be updated on when each episode is released, feel free to subscribe to the short and sweet newsletter. You'll also get weekly recommendations and tips, especially for HSPs, empaths, and introverts. To subscribe, pop on over to the website sensitiveceo.show or rosecox.com/pod. Now on to today's show. Hey, it's Rose and welcome to this solo episode on the Sensitive CEO Show. And in today's solo episode, I'm answering a question that was submitted. And the question was, I'm doing a live webinar and I feel really nervous and not confident. What advice have you got? So I love this question. I went through this myself a couple of years ago when I did my first Facebook challenge. So I know that nervous feeling, and I know that these steps that I'm going to share with you today works because I felt really nervous. I felt very confident. And I even remember breaking out in hives the night before the first day. But when I started doing these few simple things, it really changed both my mindset and my energy. And I actually got to the stage that I was feeling really pumped and excited each day that I went live. And it was for 4 days that I went live every day. So I'm thrilled to share this with you and anyone else who needs to hear it. And I have 4 little things to share. Plus, I've got a bonus one, which is quite new for me. But in many ways, this one has actually been the game changer when I discovered it only fairly recently. So, number 1 is to record a voice memo. And let me start off by setting the stage for this. So I want you to imagine that the live event, that whether it's a webinar, a challenge, or a masterclass, I want you to imagine that it's just finished. You did it and it went really well. You got wonderful feedback. Your program, your course, or whatever you were selling has sold out. And just really feel into that. Feel into that energy. How does it make you feel? And then grab your journal and write down how it feels. What does it look like? And also write down how you celebrated. And then the next step is to record this into a voice memo on your phone, describing how powerfully you showed up, how confident you were, how much fun you had, and how wonderful it felt. So describe how you showed up to serve your audience and just really feel into the experience of it being done. Who did you help? How did you help them? What ahas did people have as a result? So once you've recorded that, listen to the recording every morning when you get out of bed and then every night before you go to bed and also throughout the day. So set reminders on your phone so you don't forget. And I suggest that you start doing this a few days before the actual live event to get yourself into the energy. So that was number 1. Tip number 2 is to put on some really inspiring music. So something that really resonates for you. I've actually got a playlist, which I call my happy playlist. And a few that I've got on there, I've got Praise Yourself. I've got Best Day of My Life. I've got a Feeling. Let's Get It Started. Happy. And then when you've chosen your song, I just wanted to give you a few of mine. Then I want you to dance and sing out loud, really, really get into the energy and do that for the duration of the song. One of my other songs, well, actually my main go-to song, even though I've got quite a few on my happy list, is World in Motion by New Order. And it's a really personal, it's really inspiring to me for a number of reasons. When I lived in London in my 20s, my boyfriend at the time was a huge soccer fan and he followed Chelsea Football Club. So I went with him a few times to Stamford Bridge and watched some football games. And I can still feel the energy of the crowd. And having that feeling, that memory, I think listening to this song really helps me. And also, my niece is a professional football player who actually plays for the New Zealand national football team. And she is also signed with a club in Finland currently. So there's a couple of personal things that I just wanted to share there. So basically, find a song that has really special meaning for you and just really, really get into that energy. Okay, number 3 is, speaking of energy, is actually energy work. And whatever is your go-to, so you may already have your own energy work that you do, but if you don't have one, I'll pop a couple of links into the show notes. I do 2 every day. The first one is the daily practice with Donna Eden. And I do that every morning. And then another one is a practice that I do every morning and then again just before bed. And this is a practice from David Router and Sarah McCrum. And as I said, I'll pop both of these in the show notes. And both of them are less than 5 minutes. And they're just part of my daily ritual that I've been doing for many months. So I don't really think about it. It's one of those habits that I've built up. Now, I also have my energy codes that I work with my clients with. And I also do these myself sometimes, but these aren't something I do every day. It's when I have something that needs unblocking, then I will do one of these on myself. Okay, so number 4 is to clear as much of your schedule as possible. So if possible, try to schedule the live event on a week where you hardly have any calls, and also that you don't have a lot of tasks that you need to get done. So really give yourself some space. And then during that week, spend more time in nature. See if you can go out in nature more, go for walks every day, get an early night the night before so that you're in a really good frame of mind when you wake up. And you can do a lovely self-care ritual at night. So you could have a bath each night with candles, do some meditation, some yoga. And then in the morning after you've listened to your voice memo that you've recorded and done some energy work, then do some exercise to really get your body moving. Again, go for a walk in nature, do a yoga class, whatever fills your soul. So those are the 4 tips. And I have a bonus tip that I said I would share. And this is to try and schedule the event on a full moon or a few days leading up to the full moon. So what this does, you're actually working with the growing energy of the moon. And as I said earlier, this is something that is quite new to me. I read a book over the Christmas break called Lunar Living by Kirsty Gallagher. And it really opened up my eyes. I really wanted to learn more about the moon cycles. And if you're on my short and sweet newsletter list, you've probably seen me refer to the full moon and the new moon quite a lot. But I've started using this advice, and I've started using these practices, these moon cycles into my work, and it's made such a difference. I can really feel when my energy is waning, like when the full moon's going down to the new moon, the dark moon, and then I can feel when my energy is really high. And, that's such a good time to focus on doing tasks, really the live event, definitely. Doing podcast interviews like this. Today is actually full moon as I'm recording this on the 8th of March. So I am recording this on the 8th of March, and I know that it's going to be airing in the middle of April. And by now, I would have done my masterclass, which was just over a week ago. And I've already put plans in place to follow all of these steps. And yes, it is on a full moon here in Australia, the day that I am doing the live masterclass. But in case you missed it, you can still watch the replay, and I'll pop a link in the show notes. And I'm teaching how to attract more clients without having to work longer or harder. I'll be sharing on the masterclass how you can get clarity on the elements that you need to build a sustainable business that is aligned with your energy as an HSP. I'll be sharing why creating a simple, repeatable, evergreen system allows you to work less while earning more. And then why the right business strategies will support you in having more time and more energy. I'm also going to be sharing how to repurpose your content and multiply your efforts. And then why your mindset is just as important as your business strategy. And I'm taking application calls with me one-on-one for the next 2 weeks as of this episode going live. So if you want to learn more, if you haven't booked a call yet and you would like to, if you want to learn more about the HSP Business School, then I invite you to jump on a call with me. There's no obligation. It's just a chat to see if you're a right fit and if the business school is the right fit for you in your stage of business. So our next cohort is starting on the 1st of May. So if this is of interest to you, you've still got until the 27th of April to book a call. So reach out to me. You can send me a DM in the socials or send me an email, and I'll pop all those links again in the show notes and the link to book a call. And finally, if you have any questions for an upcoming episode, please submit it in the form, which again will be in the show notes. So I just wanted to recap those 5 steps that I use to help with confidence and help with that nervous energy that can often arise. So number 1, record a voice memo. So write down your vision of how you felt after your event. Write down how well it went and everything, how you felt, how you showed up powerfully, how you served people. And then listen to that every morning when you get out of bed, and then every night just before you go to bed, and also during the day, and set reminders so you don't forget. Number 2 was to find a song that really inspires you, that really lifts up your energy, and turn it up and dance and just let go, just feel into it. And then number 3 was to do your daily energy work. Add in a daily energy practice to clear any blocks that you might have. Number 4 was to clear your schedule and practice self-care in the evening before, but also in the morning, so you're prepared and in the right frame of mind. And then finally, number 5 was to use the energy of the moon. So thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Sensitive CEO Show. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Sensitive CEO Show. If you enjoyed this episode, or if you think it would be useful for someone else, please leave me a review on sensitiveceo.show. Just follow the prompt in the menu. Each month, I'm offering one lucky reviewer a chance to win a 1-hour business and mindset audit with me. This in-depth audit covers the 5 pillars of your online business, and you'll walk away with super clear action steps specifically for you and your business. You'll be re-energized and motivated to step into your greatness. You'll also find all of the show notes for each episode on the website sensitiveceo.show. And while you're there, make sure you subscribe to the short and sweet newsletter. You'll get weekly recommendations and tips, especially for HSPs, empaths, and introverts. And as the name implies, the email is short and sweet. The Sensitive CEO Show, igniting your sensitive superpowers.